Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate and Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Freed. Alongside of me, my co-host and panel this morning, we got Alex Nafusi, Harry Glanz from Capital Mortgage.
Hi, buddy. Good morning.
Good morning, my man. A little
guys.
riding the storm out.
Yeah, is that what it was,
It's
Harry?
called bumper music, right?
I was
riding the
also
storm
cut
out.
from, I was also cut from the Lions.
I
just so
like
you guys
it.
know.
We also bring
That
in
was
Lee
the last one that I
Moroff, Remax Showcase Homes. We got our special realtor in today. Good morning, Lee, and thanks for joining us. Got that microphone almost up there. Hold on a sec here.
Do you
Here-
know how
there you go.
long? Do you know how long
Here we-
I've
here we go.
known Lee Moroff?
He's been around a long
It's
time.
over 30 years. I know his mom, his dad, his brothers, his whole family. He's not a stranger. And you know what they say about strangers, right?
Don't talk to him.
Don't
Stay
talk to
away.
strangers. He's not a stranger. We know Lee. Lee's a great guy, and Lee's going to tell us a little bit about his background. But how about this? Lee is an attorney, okay, and now he's an attorney, which is I love attorneys, by the way.
Yes, you
Lee's
do.
an attorney. You know, I sleep with an attorney. Lee's an attorney, and he's a realtor. I don't know who you could hire. I mean, there are a lot of qualified people out there, but Lee's got to be one of the most qualified realtors out there. Tell us a little bit about your background, Lee.
Well, I was a litigator for a long time. I did that for about 15 years straight. I went to law school during LA Law, and I thought, I'm going to put on this fancy suit, and I'm going to go to court every day. And that was
You look good in the suit, though.
I did look
You
good.
did.
I did. And I thought, okay, 5 years, it was fun for the first 5 years. And then the second 5 years was like, do I really like this? Do I really like fighting all day? Do I really like, dealing with crazy
Some people do.
Wait a minute. Yeah, well, you found your niche in real estate.
It wears on you, yeah. And what's good about real estate is, yes, people will posture back and forth a little bit, but at the end of the day, the buyer wants the house, the seller wants the house, and they make it happen.
Lee, you and I were talking before the show that one of the nice things about being an attorney as well as a real estate agent is it takes all the BS out of the transaction. There's some realtors that because 2% of the realtors do 99% of the business. And I think when you have someone like you that has a legal background, you don't get any of this BS where it's like,
Hey, Alex, after all, it is a contract,
yeah,
right?
it is a contract.
I don't
But,
know.
It's like, if we don't do this by this date, it's breach of contract. And you're like, no, that you don't even know a breach of contract. You just Google that. You're not even making things up.
Well, listen, gentlemen, mortgages, purchases, and a whole lot more. First, a little bit of housing data. And if you'd like to join the show, 248-539-9797. We got a lot to share with you, including purchasing homes, refinancing homes, debt consolidation, a whole lot more. It is August 23rd and 80 degrees and sunny. I still say summer's got another, 6 or 7 weeks left in it. Go out there and enjoy the day. And again, if you need an approval letter, we're open all day long. Capital Mortgage. Call us at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker, or here in the studio at 248-539-9797. We'll get you set up with that approval letter. Lee, we're going to get into all that stuff. Of course, housing data. Some significant information came out yesterday showing that the new home sales were down 20%.
They were down 20%?
Nah. Here, how about this? In Metropolitan Detroit, they're up 47%. There has never been a hotter market. Lee Moroff, how hot is the market? Because we come on every week now since, how about this, January of 2012, right? How hot is the market?
Harry, I haven't seen anything like this since I've been in this business. If you're a buyer today, it's not like it was even a year ago. If you see a house that you like, if your realtor is sending you listings online, if you see something that you like, you got to go now. Not tomorrow, not a week from now, because it'll be gone.
I'm telling you guys right now,
Hot.
Stacy and I are looking, and we have looked at so many houses.
The lovely Stacy's in the
lovely
studio
Sta-
with
yes.
us.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, Stacy.
And we've looked at so many houses. I'm telling you, man. I mean, people just. It's almost to the point where I'm concerned about it starting another bubble. It's that hot because people are going. Price is $450. Oh, give them $475. I mean, it's like they get so caught up in just getting this house.
Lee, Alex brings up a great point. He wants, it's about starting another bubble, right? But still, appraised values haven't caught up to the sales. So really, that bubble, it's not there. It might be starting. It might be starting to blow up a little bit, but the appraised value, Lee, they have not caught up with the sale prices,
Exactly.
correct?
Yeah.
So what are you doing as a realtor about that?
Well, it depends on, if I have a buyer or seller, but I counsel both buyers and sellers. Look, appraisals are behind the market right now. Here's where the market is. Here's where appraisals are. Because the appraisers are looking in the rearview mirror 90 days, and most of them are not accounting for market conditions that the market is on its way up. On average, in the last year, we've had a 20% increase, which is incredible. 20%
In
increase
value?
in values alone.
It's huge.
So I counsel both buyers and sellers, look, down the road, we might have to discuss an appraisal issue where it didn't appraise as high as what you bid the property up at.
That's great information. Of course, negotiation is all part of the transaction, and sort of setting up the people for success at the end is what we're all about. So you sort of come up with a game plan. Maybe here, look, if this doesn't happen, you need to come up with X amount of dollars different in your transaction. Also, we talk about negotiation, Lee. We spoke briefly yesterday about it. You got to have the professionals out there. Again, the internet's a great place to get information and find these houses out there. But now we're seeing real estate agents coming up with some other ways of making offers, including, hey, I'll put on the purchase agreement, I'll pay you $2,500 over your best offer. Show us the best offer you have. It gives that opportunity for the buyer, if he gets his offer accepted, to go ahead and move forward. Without it, you really can't move forward. Little different tricks along the way. We've also seen some offers where they've said, look, I'll pay you $5,000 or $10,000 over the appraised value.
And I just used that about a week ago.
10,000 or something over appraised value.
Something over appraised value. I had a young couple. I showed them a house. They loved it, wanted it, and I counseled them, look, if you really want this house, then here's what we need to do.
Add some new language on
How many
there.
times have you said that? Okay, here's the deal. The purchase price is $250, but guess what? The appraisal could come in at $220. Are you willing to put that additional money down to make the transaction? How many times have you said that in this market?
I'm saying it all the time
Yeah,
with
every
the buyers
deal.
that I work with because, obviously my job is to help them get the house that they want.
People understand that, and if they want the house, hey, listen, as a lender, there's nothing wrong with people paying the purchase price or over appraised
Absolutely.
value. But let's understand something. As a lender, we say it every week. We're only going to lend on the appraised value.
It's simple. It's economics. It's supply and demand. A house is worth whatever someone's willing to pay for it. If you want to buy a house that's worth $250 and pay $500,000 for it, you can do whatever you want. It's simple supply and demand. But if you want a mortgage, you can only finance it based on what I can prove the house is worth.
You got that right.
All right, 248-539-9797. You should join the discussion here, especially if you're out there trying to purchase a house. We've got professionals in the office right now to help you. Again, we bring in Lee Moroff this morning. RE/MAX Showcase in downtown Birmingham. It's a great office. Lee, obviously, you've been around a long time. And as we talk about negotiation on the deal and a little bit about how the appraisals are affecting the marketplace, anyone who's out there interested, you got to get your ducks in a row. And Lee, of course, we always talk about that approval letter and making sure you're working with sound lenders on these transactions.
Absolutely. I do not show anybody a house if they're buying, unless they're paying for cash, of course. I don't show anybody a house unless I see that pre-approval letter.
We talked about that actually early in the show, that some of the bank-owned properties are, what was the percentage in that? About 50-60% of them were going for cash.
That's right.
We see a lot of the offers saying on them now that it's a cash offer, but with the option to obtain a mortgage. And that's key. Obviously, most families want to borrow at these all-time low interest rates and keep their money for a rainy day to pay off student loans and the other things that come up in life. So there are all sorts of opportunities out there. And I know you're seeing all these different things come by your office.
Absolutely. I haven't seen the cash or mortgage offer like what you're talking about, but I am seeing the appraised value plus.
Yeah,
$5,000, $10,000.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'd be real careful by saying I'll give you $2,000 over your best offer, because there's going to be some sketchy realtor out there who's going to have Uncle Jimmy sign the purchase agreement for $150,000. The guy doesn't even exist. You're like,
Straw buyer?
Yeah, here's my best offer. Give me your $2,000 more.
Hey,
I'd be real careful with
As
that,
a buyer,
man.
you have that opportunity, though, to decide, is this something you want to move ahead with? I mean, you'd still have that opportunity to go ahead and decide if you want to.
I like X over the appraised value. I think that's a great, fair way to do it. I'd be real careful with going X over your best offer.
Talking about different strategies this morning. If you want to join the show, 248-539-9797 or call Capital Mortgage all day long at 1-800-LOW-RATE. That's 1-800-569-7283. And gentlemen, also, we always throw out there a little bit of the mortgage rate information. Get it out of our system real quick. Look, rates did jump up. If you go back 2 months ago, sure, maybe about 1% higher today. And a $100,000 loan, you're talking about $63 a month. Sure, it adds up. Nobody doesn't want to save the money, but there's also other reasons why you need to get in the marketplace, as qualified mortgages are starting to hit the marketplace starting in January of 2014. The guidelines are becoming more restrictive, and again, you want to get in now, get your ducks in a row. If it's credit, if it's getting your funds together, you really got to sit down with the professionals and find out how soon you can get into a house.
Yeah, January 2014, some new rules are coming into play, and we talked about it last January. They're not really new rules. The rules is that you have to set your buyer up for success.
Is this the things we've been doing for 15 years?
It's the things that we've been doing for a long time. You can't have that super fun Happy Meal arm that's a negative AM product and, lie to people and tell them, oh, pick your payment mortgage. That's out the window. Okay. There's certain costs that you can charge, certain costs you can't charge. There's traditional 30-year, 15-year, 20-year, 10-year fixed rates. That's really the product du jour, and we've always used that. So I say product du jour. That's the safest product. However, there are some ARM programs coming in. Okay.
The ARMs have come back, and I think, as rates have trickled up a little bit on the 30-year,
we'll talk about it.
The ARMs have come back.
But you have to be smart about it. You have to do the math, and they have to fit your circumstance.
Exactly. It has to be for that specific buyer.
All right, we're up against a little bit of a break here. When we come back, tons of information. 248-539-9797 and your calls.
See the Tigers in action for free by helping the American Red Cross. Make and keep an appointment to donate blood August 31st or Labor Day and get 2 tickets to a Tigers home game. Click the Tigers page on CBSDetroit.com and make an appointment or call 1-800-RED-CROSS today.
You've been hearing now that home prices here in Southeast Michigan are on the rise, and you're probably thinking it might make sense to wait to list your property. Don't. This is Realtor Jeff Glover. You may want to consider that in addition to home prices on the rise, also on the rise are interest rates. And when interest rates go up, sales prices fall, taking money out of your pocket. So get started now. But don't just take it from me.
Hi, I'm Katie Androff.
And I'm Andrew Androff. And, we had our house listed with another realtor. 10 months on the market, no offers.
And, with 2 small children, it was extremely frustrating to get ready for those showings.
But then Jeff Glover came along, and he sold our house within weeks.
And we got the price we wanted.
Jeff Glover has sold more homes than anyone else this year in Southeast Michigan. Homeowners who sell their homes with Jeff get over 97% of their asking price and sell their homes in an average of 23 days. Call Jeff Glover today at 855-JEFF-SELLS. Whether your home is in Plymouth, Birmingham, Brighton, Shelby Township, or Ann Arbor, Jeff will get it sold. Call Jeff at 855-JEFF-SELLS or online at jeffgloversells.com. With Realtor Jeff Glover, your home is here today and gone tomorrow.
Stop, drop, and roll. Stop off at Suburban Kia in Troy. Drop off your old car. Roll out in a new Kia. The time to trade out of your old car is now. At Suburban Kia on Maple Lawn Drive in Troy. Get top dollar for your old car and get into a brand new Kia. Sign it and drive it. 0 down. 0 security deposit. 0 first payment. Or drive a 2013 Kia Soul. Just $99 a month. Or 2013 Kia Optima. Just $149 a month. Souls, $99 a month. Optimas, $149 a month. And our goal is 100% credit approval. Plus, every new Suburban Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Stop off at Suburban Kia in Troy. Drop off your old car. Roll out in a new Kia. Suburban Kia on Maple Lawn Drive in Troy. Visit SuburbanKia.com. 36 month leases, 12,000 miles per year, 3,000 due at signing plus tax, tag, and title with approved credit. See dealer or SuburbanKia.com for full details.
Hi, Harry Glantz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, so what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. Look, if you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Capital Mortgage Funding is a proud division of United Shore Financial Services, NMLS number 3038, Equal Housing Lender. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE.
Known for thrillers like Millennium Force, Cedar Point announces a new record breaker, Gatekeeper. As you climb 17 stories, you'll say, I can do this. Flying through a zero-G roll on the world's tallest, longest, fastest wing coaster, you'll say, I can do this too. And squeaking through 2 towering keyholes at a face-flattening 67 miles an hour, you'll say, well, we can't say what you'll say.
Cedar Point. Thrills connect. Save on tickets at cedarpoint.com.
It's time to have an intervention. We're going to sit 7:30 down and give it a stern talking. Because 7:30 is no fun. It means chores, cleaning the kitchen, washing the dogs, taking care of the kids, making sure homework's done, packing Capri Suns for the soccer game. No more! How about a chance to win $50,000 playing a game from your house? It's called Let's Ask America, and I'm the host, Kevin Pereira, and I want you to win buckets of cash. Don't miss the fun starting September 9th, weeknights at 7:30, only on WXYZ Channel 7.
This is Mary, mother of 3, walking through her front door right after she saved $93 back to school shopping at Kohl's.
What a feeling!
And this is Mary walking her dog in the rain.
I can't have it all, now I'm dancing for my life.
And this is Mary at the dentist.
Oh.
Get the feeling of great savings on the brands your kids want for back to school at Kohl's lowest prices of the season sale. Going on now. Kohl's. Expect great things.
Kick off fantasy football season with the fans that love it most. Host your draft party at Buffalo Wild Wings and receive a free draft kit while supplies last. With some of the biggest screens around, why not make B-Dubs your home field? Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
The station that puts the all pros on the radio. 97.1. The Ticket.
Welcome back to the show till 10 o'clock. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Also, you can shoot us an email at mortgage.show at lowrateonline.com.
Little Sammy Hagar coming in. I can't drive 55. That's my theme song.
That is for sure.
I certainly can't drive 55.
Police departments around town appreciate you speeding, Harry.
Yeah, well.
Are you still in the insurance pool? You've been good for a long time, though.
I've been very good for a very long time, and I'm regressing.
Out of all the things that Harry does, it's wrong. That's the only thing.
So I just drive fast. I'm sorry, I do. I drive fast.
Gentlemen, we take all your calls here live in the studio, 248-539-9797. And again, you can call Capital all day long at 1-800-LOW-RATE. Refinancing is still happening. That's right. Rates have burped up a little bit. However, you're still talking about 40-year lows, and we see a tremendous amount of opportunity out there. Lee, we've even spoke about how recently, with the values going up or starting to trickle up, that some families that couldn't maybe refinance a year or two ago have some new opportunities out there, maybe to consolidate their first and second mortgage, maybe just to take advantage of reducing the term on your mortgage and getting a lower interest rate. So lots of opportunity out there. We pose all these questions.
It's so nice talking to Lee because he's a very experienced guy, knowledgeable, articulate. He has great views. He doesn't let things influence his view. He's a free thinker. He's very he's an independent guy. And we were talking about this, and I said to him, Lee, what do you do when an appraisal comes in low? And go ahead and articulate what you said to me. I said, what do you do when you have a buyer that is buying a house and all of a sudden the appraisal comes in low? What do you do?
Well, I've prepared the buyer already. I've told the buyer, look, the appraisals are behind the market right now. We got a market that's shooting up, and this can happen. And if the buyer tells me, well, I don't care if the appraisal is low, I'm not going through with the deal, then I politely say, let's part as friends today instead of having you get angry with me and everybody else.
But I got to have the house.
Whether you're representing a buyer or a seller, you go over all the scenarios that could happen. You're telling them about the market. You're letting them know that it's not a lender's fault, problem, issue if an appraisal comes in low because, like we always talk about, we don't want to do the loan. We don't want to close the transaction. We're all on the same side. And sometimes, it gets a little adversarial when somebody calls up our office and says, Capital Mortgage Funding, I don't like the appraiser that you used. It's not like we can call Jimmy John up and say, hey, that property over on Smith Street in Birmingham, I want you to appraise it for X. Those days are over, right?
Yeah, you can't do that. Federal regulations.
A while ago, Barney Frank and Chris Dodd got together, and they got their whole Dodd-Frank Act, and it created what's called an appraisal management company, an AMC. Before, back in the olden days, you could pick your appraiser. You could pick whoever you wanted. Now everything goes through an appraisal management company, and it goes to a pool of appraisers. So it's like Harry said, you can't just call your buddy Jimmy John and say, hey, man, this is a really good buddy of mine. Make sure that the house comes into the sales price. It's all, it goes through a pool of appraisers now. It has nothing to do with the lender. The lender has nothing to do with appraisals anymore. Nothing.
248-539-9797. We'd like to hear from you if you're interested in purchasing a house. If you have a situation where you're purchasing a house and something came up, we definitely could probably answer that or guide you towards the right direction on anything that you have regarding purchasing a home. And again, talk about refinancing out there as part of this also, because once you own a house, of course, when the opportunity comes up, you have that opportunity to lower the interest rate. And we've seen so many families take advantage of that in lowering the term.
Before we went to break, we were talking about fixed rates is really the standard right now. Fixed rates represent between 90 and 95% of all transactions now. However, ARMs are making a comeback. Why are ARMs making a comeback? I'm not talking about one-year ARMs. I'm not talking about negative and super fun Happy Meal ARMs. I'm talking about an ARM that has a fixed term component to it. Fixed for 5 years, fixed for 7 years, and then it goes to an adjustable rate component. Who are those interest rates and those programs good for? Well, they're good for people that are going to stay in the home for a very short period of time.
7 years is a long time.
7 years is a very long time, but it's not 15 or 30 years, right? So if you're going to stay in the house for 7, 8, 9 years, you might want to take a look at a 7-year ARM because mathematically, and you have to do the math, and you have to know that you're only going to be in the house 7, 8, 9 years, it might be beneficial for you because you could save a lot of money up front. But these products, these are financial tools. They're financial instruments. They're not good for everybody.
If your gross income's $3,000 a month and all your debt adds up to $1,350 a month, you don't want an ARM, because if that rate goes from 4.25 to, let's say,
even lower,
let's say adjust to 5.25, and those aren't quotes. I'm just throwing out random numbers.
Right.
That if it goes up that full percentage point, you can't make that payment anymore. You're barely squeaking by.
How about if I'm in my house right now for 7 years and I know that I'm only going to be in my house another 3-4 years max, why wouldn't I go on a 5-1 ARM?
Well, even that,
to
the
refinance.
5-1 or the 7-1, and I thought I like it for families that might have an increase in income down the road. There's some reasons why.
How do you know that, though?
Well, you do if you're a professional, perhaps. You do if
I
you're.
think that's people got in trouble before. They took an ARM and said, "We'll be making more money. I'm making more money in 5 years."
Your wife might be getting a master's degree in psychology. She might be in nursing
She's
school.
a
There's
doctor.
different
She's done.
Oh.
Done.
I would tell you that, but see, these are the things that you have to go
Not a
through.
master's.
It's kind of like Lee. When Lee sits down with a buyer or a seller, he asks them what their goals and objectives are. Okay, when we sit down with a prospective client, we ask them, how long are you going to be in the house? What are your goals and objectives are? We drill down real deep and find out and say, hey, stay away from this program, but you might want to take a look at this program. I'm sure that's what you do when you sit down with buyers or sellers.
Yeah, you have to know more than just their names and where they work. What are your intentions? Do you want to have a family? How long do you think you're going to be in this house?
School district, shopping, where do you work? How close in proximity to all these things, do you want to be? You have to really sit down and we use this all the time. You have to sit down, Lee, and you've done this through your whole career. You've sat down, you advised and counseled people. And I don't know how many people really do that really understand the transaction that they're putting people in.
But you got to know who you're working with, and I admit I'm not for everybody. There are a lot of people out there that
What I am.
well, they don't like the truth, and you got to listen to me and you got to trust me.
Talk about 4 people in a studio that couldn't apply more to.
You're right.
Listen, Mr. Klein, you might want to call someone else in my office.
And sometimes you got to do it, because that person that doesn't listen to you and doesn't trust you, they're going to eat your heart out.
Huge point. And like I was talking earlier, that Stacey and I have been looking, and when you have a realtor, somebody that you trust, somebody that you go to, we've liked houses, like, dude, we're going to offer on this house. And the guys that I use a company called Skyward Real Estate in Royal Oak, where they're like, dude, this house sucks, Alex. This is a money pit. If you want it, it's not communist Russia. China. I'm not going to make you buy it. I'm not going to tell you can't buy it. I'll do it for you. But I'm telling you right now, you do not want to go into this house with the work it needs. Yeah. Which is good, because I don't know anything. We've talked about how unhandy I am. I can't change light bulbs.
Yeah, I have that same conversation with buyers when, we want to go see bank-owned properties. We're going to save all this money.
No.
Are you sure you're going to save all this money? Well, we still want to go and see them. And usually it takes 1 or 2 showings at some of these bank-owned properties. By the way, watch out for that live wire that's right there. Don't touch it or you're going to get electrocuted. Do you smell that mold? I'm stepping out right now because I'm not going to breathe that mold. But if you want to breathe it, I'll meet you outside.
And it's like with rates still in the 4s in most cases, on a 30-year. Why wouldn't you spend the extra $20,000 or $30,000 and buy a house you could just move into? I mean, why would you? What's your time worth to save $30,000 and be back and forth at Home Depot? I mean, I love the hot dogs.
Unless you're a
so much sense
professional,
what you're saying. You got it,
Lee. Unless you're a professional, people always say, I want to buy a foreclosure. I want to buy, I want rental properties. I want to do investment properties. I want to make money that way. I think those transactions, unless you're a professional, there are plenty of people driving around the city that do that for a living and know what they're looking at. That here, I'm a novice. I'm sure I can get away with some rental properties and all that and do okay with it. But do I really want that aggravation?
I would think in this market right now, if you see a house, it's been on the market since March 5th. There's a reason it hasn't sold yet.
Well, they may have priced too high in the beginning, and then they've been, chasing the market. That might be it. When I'm working with a seller, though, I make it very clear. I'm not the type of realtor that wants a listing on the market for 6 months. That's not how I work. Mr. Seller, here's where the comparable sales are.
It's
This is
like-
where we can price ourselves at, and possibly not have a problem.
And
with the
again,
appraisal.
sometimes the market sort of drives that price up. Sometimes the need for that house drives the market up. A couple open houses, a whole bunch of offers, and we'll see where that price takes
we
us.
had a realtor on a couple years ago, and he was bragging about all these listings he had. I'm like, where are they? I'm like, dude, if you've got 100 listings, you're not a very good realtor. I mean, because you just have listings. You're not even sold anything. Like, well, I sold 2 last month. That's great, dude. Of your 100.
All right, come on
Good
back
average.
and join us here. It's going to be a beautiful day out there. We'd like to hear from you. 248-539-9797. We'll be right back.
My friend Dave has a question.
Yeah, what's DTE Energy doing with renewables?
Just so happens I have an expert here, Louisa from DTE Energy.
Actually, Dave, DTE is committed to developing renewables here in Michigan. We're partnering with schools, businesses, and communities on solar installations to generate power.
That's great. What else are you doing?
We're taking a thoughtful approach, working in a variety of different areas to determine which technologies are most viable.
Okay. What about wind energy?
Wind is a big part of our program. DTE Energy is dedicated to wind as an ongoing way to serve customers. Did you know that soon we'll be able to power a city 6 times the size of Ann Arbor with wind energy alone?
Those wind turbines are really cool too. Think I could get one?
Where do you live?
Nice little high rise, not too far from here.
I don't think so.
Well, if you have a question, just go to askdte.com to ask it. DTE Energy, know your own power.
It's summer, the market's hot, and homes are selling in 72, 48, and sometimes just 24 hours after being listed on the market. This is Realtor Jeff Glover. Have you been thinking about getting in on that action? Well, now is the time to stop thinking about it and start doing something about it before it's too late. But don't just take it from me.
I'm Dennis King.
And I'm Haven King. I heard the advertisement for Jeff Glover, and we gave him a call. He put our house on the market on a Monday.
On Tuesday, we had 10 showings.
The house sold in 1 week.
I'm an architect and a management consultant, and I've worked with a lot of real estate people in my career. Jeff, hands down, is one of the best.
We'd recommend Jeff to anybody who's looking to sell a home in today's market.
Jeff Glover has been featured on CNBC Powerhouse, listed as a top 100 agent by the Wall Street Journal, named a real estate all-star by Our Magazine, and a power seller by Crane's Detroit Business. Call Jeff Glover today at 855-JEFF-SELLS or online at jeffgloversells.com. With Realtor Jeff Glover, your home is here today and gone tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Mountain Dew Pro Skater Paul Rodriguez, and these are some of my favorite sounds of summer. Hey, man. All right, let's go. Heading out to go skate with my friends. Skating down the street on a beautiful summer day. And the distinctly soothing sound of a Diet Mountain Dew Big Gulp at 7-Eleven.
Drop into 7-Eleven this summer and experience more Mountain Dew than ever before. Grab a limited edition Dew Tour can, an ice cold Mountain Dew Big Gulp, or start your morning right with Mountain Dew Kickstart. With so much dew to choose from, your summer just got awesomer.
Okay, Michigan roofing contractors, listen up. It's roofing week at the Home Depot. They're running a super special right now on GAF shingles, North America's #1 selling shingles. Just buy a pallet of in-stock GAF Royal Sovereign 3-tab shingles or select Timberline architectural shingles and get 15% off the everyday shelf price. GAF shingles feature advanced protection technology, which is why they're the preferred brand of professional contractors. So get over to your local Michigan Home Depot store between August 22nd and September 2nd and get that 15% off your select GAF shingles.
At Friendly Ford Lincoln in Monroe, friendly isn't just a name, it's their way of doing business. What if every business was named according to how they do business? Would you ever really go to a place called Pushy Appliances? Or how about Please Don't Read Our Internet Reviews Cafe? Friendly Ford Lincoln in Monroe is celebrating 30 years of friendly salespeople, friendly service, friendly financing, and friendly deals. Friendly Ford Lincoln in Monroe. It's not just a name, it's the way they do business. Stop by on Telegraph in Monroe or visit friendlyfordmonroe.com.
Sports news all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
And we're brought to you by Hungry Howie's. Miguel Cabrera hits homer number 41, a 3-run shot, leading the Tigers to a 6-1 win over the Mets. Along with Torrey Hunter, Austin Jackson, they also went deep. Doug Fisher goes to 11-6. Max Scherzer 18-1 today. 405 against the Nets right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Tigers lead the Tribe by 6 games because Minnesota dumped Cleveland 5-1. LA Dodgers Hall of Fame broadcaster Vince Scully will be back for his record 65th season in 2014. He is 85 years old. Lions cut 5 yesterday, including defensive tackle John Drew, guard Derek Hardman, cornerbacks Dominique Johnson and Ross Weaver, and also receiver Chaz Schillens. They will trim to 75 by Tuesday. Final preseason game Thursday at Buffalo. Single game tickets for Detroit Red Wings games this year go on sale today. And about a half hour at 10 a.m. at the Joe Louis box office and DetroitRedWings.com. At the Ticket Update desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1theticket.com.
If you can't say it loud and proud, at least say it loud.
97.1 The Ticket.
Welcome back to the show till 10 o'clock. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. That's 1-800-569-7283. We have professionals in the office all day long. You need to have that approval letter in your hand. Give us a phone call. We can run that for you this morning and get you approved and make sure you're all set up for success. And as we have Lee Moroff in the office from RE/MAX Showcase Homes in downtown Birmingham. Of course, Lee's here to give us some great insight on purchasing a home. If you're in today's market, you definitely need professional help. Hey, it's the first time purchase originations overtook refinance transactions out there. Yep, the report came out earlier this week. Ellie Mae said that 47% of the transactions are refinances, representing less than half for the first time since August 2011. It's a hot purchase market now.
And what's the stat in our office, Harvey? Do you know what the percentage of
I'm going to
purchases
say
we're
we
doing
were
right
up
now?
to about 75%.
We're about 70% purchase transactions over refi transactions, which is phenomenal.
Right. So a lot of families, though, that other 30% should start picking up again as more and more families have to find out how they can save money on their house. Again, the HARP program, Home Affordable Refinance Program, you got to call Capital Mortgage for this. If you have a house that's underwater, it's a conventional mortgage, you might have an opportunity there to go ahead and refinance that and take advantage of some lower rates and lower terms. And also the FHA Streamline program. So many families out there have some old FHA loans, and now there's an opportunity with a little bit more equity out there, perhaps to get into a conventional loan. Alex, we have the no PMI, we had Ultimate Advantage program, unbelievable for 3% and 5% down conventional buyers.
There's a ton of options right now. I think a lot of people that purchased with FHA after I think maybe 2009 or 2010, the PMI is pretty heavy. With the values with home values coming back, you can refinance those, drop the PMI, still do a 30-year fixed. You can go 5% down with no PMI. I think there's a lot of people too that haven't taken advantage of the HARP programs. You know, I mean, rates did bump up. I think with July 5th, the market got crushed and they went up a little bit. Big deal. But if you're at 6.5, 6, 6 and 7/8, if you're saving money, don't worry about your neighbor that got a lower rate 3 months ago. Stop.
Right, and so many of those families did the combo loans, those 80-20 loans back in the day. And there's that opportunity. You can refinance, subordinate your second mortgage, which basically means leave it alone. But what you can do on that first mortgage is not only save some money, but you can even drop the term. Get that down to a 15-year. Build equity so that a few years down the road from now, you might even have another opportunity to consolidate that first and second.
It's all on a case-by-case basis. And I mean, if you're saving $200 a month, pay off your second thing.
Guys, there's still plenty of people in the 5s that should refinance. How about taking the term down from a 30 down to a 20 or a 20 down to a 15? I mean, there's still plenty of vehicles that you can use to save money and pay off that mortgage. Believe it or not, we've got 3 mortgage guys in here that believe in paying off mortgages.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Get rid of it.
I mean, the thing is, the whole point of a mortgage, and again, like I blame my generation because we were the first ones like 80-20, 0 down, interest only, all this junk, and how much house can I afford? All that. The whole point of a mortgage is to pay it off. And when people save $200-300 a month, I always stress keep making the payment you're making now. Don't go out and buy the jet ski. Don't waste $300 a month. Pay the loan off. Be done with it.
Also, 71% of the mortgages out there they're conventional mortgages. There was a spike in FHAs over the last few years, but recently FHA increased their MIP, their mortgage insurance premium program. And a lot of you borrowers out there with the higher credit scores can definitely look at a conventional loan. Again, 3 or 5% down conventional transactions. Avoid that monthly MIP, or for you buyers that have come back into the marketplace. And Lee, I know we've got a lot of these. Look, people had trouble here. I mean, it was a housing debacle just 5 years ago. And of course, here in Southeast Michigan, we lost our industry. The automobile industry took a big beating. So people are out of work. Okay, and we had some of the highest unemployment across the country. But now these families are back on their feet. There's new jobs. Things are moving in the right direction. Those families are getting back in the marketplace. And again, it's 3 years out after a foreclosure, a short sale, a DLUA foreclosure. We welcome all those buyers back to the industry.
Well, and it's good because 5 years ago, it was tough. It was really tough. It was very difficult to go into a seller's house and show them the comparable sales. And a lot of them were it was reverse sticker shock to them. Like, what? My house is worth what? Well, I can't sell it for that. And a lot of those people then became short sale sellers where they did have a hardship. Someone got ill, or someone lost their job, or there was a divorce. So a lot of those people, and Alex was talking about a lot of those people too, where they went with the arm du jour and kept refinancing, pulling money out, and then finally the bubble burst, and they had to go through a short sale. Hopefully a short sale as opposed to a foreclosure.
All right,
we're dedicated to making sure people don't repeat the same mistakes that they made in the past. I mean, we say it, we talk about it, we preach it, we live it. We don't want people going on those same programs that really infected the industry in days gone by and years gone by. We don't want that.
A very hard lesson.
All right, we got some open lines here. 248-539-9797. Let's go to Ed out there in Waterford. Good morning, Ed. You're live on the ticket.
Hey, guys. Real quick, my wife, we own a condo. She bought the condo before we were together. She did the 80-20. The ARM expired as the economy went bad, but she couldn't we couldn't refinance the home. We were probably about $45,000 to $50,000 upside down in the condo. Now, the ARM, the interest rate dropped, and it dropped for 3 or 4 years, then it held steady.
Right.
Well, now we're noticing the economy starting to come back a little bit, and I don't want that to jump an interest rate or two. You know, we can only go up one per year, according, the prime, I guess.
Is it an FHA arm?
Pardon me?
What kind of arm is it? It's a 1 year adjustable?
Yes, the 1 year adjustable.
Okay.
It can't exceed 7%. Right now, we're like 2 5/8, and we don't mind going up to 3 or 4%, but we don't understand the whole HARP program because we want to buy a second home. We want a house, and but we don't want to bail on the condo.
Right.
We want to keep the condo.
Ed, let me ask you a question. Is the ARM an FHA arm, a 1 year arm?
I don't believe it's FHA. We are actually through Fifth Third. Both the 80 and the 20 are both through.
There's an 80-20, a 1 year adjustable. Here's the scoop, man. If it's backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, you can refinance. It doesn't matter what the house is worth or what the condo's worth. I think we can definitely get that locked in for you. You'll probably just subordinate the second mortgage, which means just leave it in place. But I mean, you definitely have some options. Let me call after the show and get some more information from you. And we can go from there. But, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, and regarding to buying the new one, as long as you qualify with both payments, that's a regular old deal. There's nothing funky about that.
Yeah, because our condo payment is it's only $700 a month on the loan. It's very cheap, So, yeah, we just don't understand the programs very well. That's not our forte.
Ed, I have a question for you. Why do you want to keep the condo and buy another house?
Well, you know what? I'm retired military. I'm 42. The industry she works in, it's not going to be an industry that she can work till she's, 60 years old. She does hair. She works in the movies a lot. Well, at some point in our lives, we're gonna have to turn back to a condo. At 70 years old or whatever, and it's something that because the payment is so low, it's something we can rent out until that time and let somebody else make the payment because it is so cheap.
Ed, I've done a lot of landlord-tenant work, and I would advise you, if you came into my office, I would look you straight in the eye and I'd say, do you really, really want to be a landlord? It can be a nightmare.
He's underwater, though, so he can't really do anything.
When was the last time you did had a market analysis done on your condo? You might not be underwater anymore.
Well, it's not so much that we did a market analysis. I know what the condos in our association are selling for, and they're selling. There was one at 2,800 square foot that just sold for $105,000. We owe $125,000. And ours is 1,400 square feet.
Well,
all right. Tough. You might be a landlord.
Yeah, Ed. Let me do this, man. I got your number. I'll call you after the show, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I appreciate
you.
That's a great call. Again, always call the professionals, 248-539-9797. We're going to take all your calls about buying, selling, maybe even becoming a landlord. It works for some people. Definitely, Lee, you got a lot of stories that didn't work out so well. But
I've got so many.
When the families are underwater and they do want to buy another house, if they qualify, and again, yes, you can go ahead and purchase a new house as long as you qualify with all the existing payments. And for you condominium owners out there, that includes your association fee, your taxes, insurance, and, of course, your principal and interest on the loan. So you got to make sure all the numbers line up. Let's go to Dave out there in Macomb. Good morning, Dave. Thanks for joining our show. You're live.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Good morning, Dave.
So I'm in Macomb Township. We've been in the house about 10 years. We owe about $257,000. We've got a mortgage and then a line of credit, and it's broken up to be about $210 on the mortgage and about 46 or so on the line of credit. We're at about 5.75 as far as an interest rate. Our challenge is we're trying to refinance. We're underwater, obviously, but we don't have a Fannie or Freddie loan.
You got nothing, man.
We've got money we can bring to the table on certain things, but I'm just trying to figure out, does it even make sense to do that?
Yeah, you got to look at everything. I mean, I got to look at all the numbers for you. What'd you say the house is worth?
You know what? We haven't even had it appraised. I really wouldn't be able to tell you.
Hey, Dave, how long do you want to stay in that property? Is this a long-term proposition for you?
Well, we've got an 11-year-old and a 16-year-old, so obviously at least, through school for them. We like the house. It's not like we're trying to get out of the house. So, we could be there quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got the option to pay down that second or pay the first down, I think it's a great way to go. We got to go to a break. Hang on the line, okay? I'll go back to your call. Hang
all right,
tight.
we'll be right back with all your calls. 248-539-9797.
Labor Day involves a lot of travel, whether it takes you hundreds of miles away or just around the corner. Valvoline Instant Oil Change will help you protect your vehicle's engine with their quality Valvoline products so you'll arrive safely and on time. Call 800-FAST-CHANGE. Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
My company just landed a big new account, and I have to start hiring people pretty fast. But I'm not too worried. We have great benefits. One in particular. We have Blue Cross.
A comprehensive health plan from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan or Blue Care Network is a great way to attract and retain top talent to your small business.
I want the really talented people to work for me. If I didn't have Blue Cross, I'd probably lose them to somebody who does.
With Blue Cross, your employees get the health plan they want, and your business benefits from a plan that fits your budget and may lower your healthcare costs. Some plans can even help your employees stay healthy.
Blue Cross is an employee benefit that's a real benefit to my bottom line.
To learn how a health plan from Blue Cross can help your business stay competitive, call 1-877-547-BLUE. Contact your Blues contracted agent or visit bcbsm.com/employers. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan and Blue Care Network are nonprofit corporations and independent licensees of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Candace would like to know,
will DTE Energy really help me save money on my energy bill?
well, Candace, we have Jason from DTE Energy here to tell us.
DTE will absolutely help. The first thing you should do is go to the DTE Energy website and use My Energy Analyzer to see how you can save, or schedule a free home energy consultation.
And then what happens?
Well, someone like me will come to your home and check it out for ways to save. We'll look to see if you have enough insulation, if your windows and doors are sealed well, and whether your appliances are energy efficient.
Are there some simple things she can do herself?
Well, just changing out traditional light bulbs for CFLs can save a lot.
Those are the squiggly ones, right?
Yep, they use 75% less electricity than traditional bulbs.
75% less? Wow.
Plus, they look like ice cream cones. But you wouldn't want to put an ice cream cone in a lamp.
No.
Want to ask your own question? Go to AskDTE.com. DTE Energy. Know your own power.
Gordon Chevrolet. We believe that buying a car should be a fun, fast, and friendly experience. Right now until September 3rd, we're offering the Sign and Drive lease from Malibu for only $156. This is with GMS and lease loyalty. Zero down, just sign and drive away for $156. Or choose the Equinox, only $218, but it ends September 3rd. Closed for the holiday weekend and open late on Tuesday. Gordon Chevrolet. We go the extra mile for you on Ford Road, just west of Merriman and Garden City.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
This is your stomach talking to you. Listen closely.
Ooh, I'm hungry for a delicious submarine sandwich, and not just some wimpy sub you'll find on every corner. I want a meaty, grilled-to-order sub, like a juicy steak and cheese from Detroit's original sub shop. That's Tubby's Submarine.
Satisfy your stomach's desire. Go to Tubby'sGrill.com to find a store nearest you.
Tubby's, home of Detroit's original grilled steak and cheese submarine. Taste Tubby's again for the very first time.
Tubby's, they make my taste buds dance, even though they're on the tongue.
Dreaming of a pennant run, sipping on some red pop, back to the wall. The ball that sails right through the sky. The center fielder has it, the runner rounds the bases. If Fago remembers, cause Fago was there. Fago will always be there.
See the
the Tigers in action for free by helping the American Red Cross. There's an urgent need for blood donors right now, so make and keep an appointment to donate blood over Labor Day weekend. This offer is good for 2 days only, Saturday, August 31st, or Labor Day, September 2nd. You'll get 2 tickets to a Tigers home game in September. You must make an appointment in advance, and they'll book up fast. Go to the Tigers page on CBSDetroit.com to sign up, or call 1-800-RED-CROSS. That's 1-800-733-2767 today.
Do you have room for more furniture, appliances, or electronics? Good, because we at Aaron's don't. So during our August mega clearance event, we're slashing prices on our previously leased merchandise. Come in and save hundreds on big screen TVs, Blu-ray players, gaming systems, washer dryers, refrigerators, sofas, bedroom sets, computers, and a lot more. You'll find reduced prices, reduced payments, and reduced terms on top name brands. If you've got the room, get to Aaron's today or go to aarons.com/clearance.
We don't back down because you don't back down.
97.1 The Ticket.
Welcome back to the show. We're in our last segment. Come on back and join us here. 248-539-9797. We are brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding at
Little
1-800
ZZ Top,
Rate.
Harvey?
You just name all the tunes
Yeah.
here. I'm going to get you a job
I'm
at
good like that.
down the
I
street,
could
or
do
maybe
that.
one of those oldies. Well, like a
Thank you. I
70s
appreciate
station.
that. Oldies. Great. Good job, bro. Oldies.
Send us an
Oldies.
email if I still have a job on Monday to mortgage.
Call 1-800-OLD-GUY. 1-800-OLD-GUY.
Have the old guy handle it.
Yeah.
Or send us an email to mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. Want to thank some of the callers that are calling in, and we got to go to Dave out there in Macomb Township. Good morning, Dave. Welcome to our show.
No, he's
we're going
the
back to
same
Dave.
guy. We're going
So
back to the
Dave-
same guy. Hi, Dave.
we are.
Dave, ballpark what the house is worth for me.
What? I'm sorry.
Ballpark what the house is worth for me. If you had to guess.
I would say 260, 270.
And you owe how much all in? 240?
We're at 250. Well, no, right now we're at 257.
Okay. I mean, so you're right there. And I mean, if you only owe 210 on the first, you can probably pay down the second if you have that opportunity to do that. Get back to a 30-year fix, get the rate down, maybe even shorten the term and get it paid off.
We'd love to do that. The challenge has always been we've been told it's not a Fannie or Freddie, so we don't qualify for the HARP. So there really wasn't much they could do.
I mean, you could actually. I mean, if you have a 401k, you can borrow from your 401k and pay yourself back and get that second
We're more
paid
than
off.
willing to do that. We have that opportunity, and we've got about 60,000, I think, in there that we can pull from.
Dave,
I like that option.
Dave, I'll call you in about 20 minutes, and we'll go from there, man.
I appreciate
Good
it,
deal.
guys.
Thank you, sir. See ya.
All right, let's continue the calls here. We got Mark out there in Chelsea. Good morning, Mark. Thanks for joining our show.
Mark, what's
How
up,
we
man?
doing?
Good,
Hey,
how are you,
Mark,
sir?
what's happening?
Can you hear me?
I
We
can.
can.
Okay. Hey, I'm kind of stuck in a mortgage here that interest only. That like 7-8 years ago, I was kind of stupid and got into, but looking to get into a 30-year fixed and having some problems.
What's the problem?
Well, come to find out, I thought I qualified for a HARP program,
Right.
and
Not an interest-only loan, you wouldn't.
out in the country, and nothing's really selling out here a whole lot. I live on a lake out in the country. They want me to, of course, get an appraisal and stuff.
Was it
which I
taking
thought
a
under
long
the HARP
time to do the
program, I didn't-
transaction?
As long as it's called.
Was it taking a long time to get the loan through?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they kept raising the rate. So now they're up to almost 6%, and it's the company that I took the loan out originally with. They sold it off to another company.
Right. So what does that have to do with your rate or anything? Doesn't it just all it changes who you rate the check to? Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're on interest only right now. What's the rate?
My rate right now is 6.75.
And it's interest only, and you want to go to a 30-year fixed.
Yeah.
Is it on an arm right now?
Yes.
Okay.
It's almost-
So just keep making the payment. What does it matter? If it's on an arm, the rate should be going down.
It isn't.
It isn't.
And I need to get off of this because, after the 10 years, it's going to skyrocket.
The
my
10 year
payment.
it's a 10-year arm. Do you know what kind of program you have?
Not really.
Hey, you know what? We'll
take a look
Let's
at
do
it.
this,
Here's
Mark.
the thing, Mark. As exciting as this call is, I'm going to have to call you after the show. But give me like 20 minutes and I'll get back to you.
Grab your closing package from the transaction. And again, that's key that you know exactly what you have so we can sort of nurture you through here. 248-539-9797.
He lives on a lake. We got that out of the call.
I like that.
I'm going to say this. Chelsea's been a growing area for the last, 30 years. It's not considered stickland by any means. I mean, there's many comps. There's many new subdivisions out there. And it's also home of Jeff Daniels, I believe, the local theater.
is.
Guru here. All right.
Jump to go to line 4.
Let's try line 4. Hey, Doug, good morning. Calling in from Riverview. What's going on?
Hey, guys. How's it going this
Good.
morning?
What's up,
Morning.
Quick question for you. I'm first-time home buyer, me and my fiance, 20% conventional. Put an offer in, agreed upon 165. Appraisal came in way low.
What did it come in at?
What was that?
What did the appraisal come in at?
138.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, Brownstown was the community we bought in. Kind of just looking for some creative options, if there are any, because being a first-time home buyer, we don't got the cash to come up to make that difference, nor do we want to, because we wouldn't want to put ourselves underwater before we even got it.
Why don't you just lower the purchase price?
Is the seller willing to do anything, Doug?
We're trying to gauge that right now. So.
Okay, because the way the market is right now, successful sellers and successful buyers understand that they're going to have to compromise. If you're going to stick to the appraised value and say, I'm not going forward unless the seller sells to me at the appraised value, the chances of it happening are slim. We're on an upward trend right now, Doug. So it makes sense, if you really like this house, to try to get this house. Even if you have to come up with more money than you thought you were going to have to, a year from now, you're going to be glad you did it. If this is the house that you really want.
Okay.
Doug, Carrie and I were talking earlier that one of the things we do at Capital is we want to make sure our clients are set up for success. And you said that, are there any tricks to getting in this house? There's really no tricks at all. But I mean, it's important that, like you said, you don't want to set yourself up for failure by buying a house and already starting out underwater. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know. Listen, dude, I'm married too, and I know your wife probably loves the house. You guys are all jacked up. It's your first house, but I mean, you guys got to sit down as a family and say, hey. Listen, honey, this might not be the house for us.
But Alex, he might not really be underwater.
That's what I was thinking too. We've put a couple offers in, and all of our offers have been accepted so far. But because of various inspection problems, this is the farthest we've made it.
Well, it always bums me out when I hear that, because I know you're spending a lot of money. Are you going FHA or conventional is one of my questions. The other one would be, again, you're spending a lot of money on these inspections. We've seen some families, Lee, you might want to back me on this one, do the appraisal first. If they have a deal, and then still has a contingency to do the home inspection. So you're not getting rid of that. Lee, I see you're frowning over there, and that's okay. A little different strategies maybe to save money, but if you've already done 3 inspections, that's about $1,000.
Yeah, but still, I think the inspection is the most important part of the transaction.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
a good inspector
I think
is
absolutely.
going to let you know, okay, you got a mold problem here.
You
got to put on a new roof.
I would never, ever let anybody enter a transaction without getting a home
house
inspection.
House could still appraise out, but what if the foundation's crumbling?
That's right. I mean, how do you know?
But what if the house doesn't appraise out and you don't have the money to make up the difference?
Wait, time out. I look at it like this. If people aren't spending money on inspections, I have a problem with it.
Well, I think you can do it
I don't care how
after.
many inspections I got to spend on various houses. That's the most important thing, because guess what? If that house has significant problems, and I don't know about it, and I move into it,
well, that goes without saying.
I mean,
that's a heck of a money pit you're running into.
$250,000 out there, and you're not going to spend $500 on inspection.
Whoa,
you're out of your mind.
Get that inspection.
Out of your mind.
Absolutely.
Also, Lee, as a real estate agent, you're representing this buyer. If you were representing Doug, you would have
I'll call
all
after the show, man.
Thanks for the
buddy.
call, Doug. You would have all the comparable sales already at his fingertips, so you already have a good barometer of what these houses are going to appraise for. There's no surprise party after the appraisal comes in, is there?
Well,
sometimes.
But Harvey, what you were talking about brings to mind, really a good strategy in this type of market for the buyer is go ahead, bid up the house high. Go ahead. If you want this house, this is the house for you.
Right.
You got a baby on the way and you're out of room. Go ahead, bid it up high, and then work from the appraisal. But understand,
I've heard a lot of
you're
say
going to
that.
have to bring some cash to close.
You're negotiating up
More
front.
than
You're
you thought.
negotiating after the appraisal comes in. It's
And
part of the
disclosure.
process.
It's all about disclosure. We talk about it. Lee discloses to his clients all the time what the various variables are going to be in the transaction.
Absolutely. And as long as they know, if you're going to go in, if you love this house and you're going to go in like you're Beyonce and Jay-Z and you're going to bid it up like you got all this cash, just be ready to pony up when that appraisal comes in at $250 and you're buying it for $290. You got to make up the difference.
I like that analogy, though.
Thanks, man. I
That
thought
was
last night.
sweet.
I've been holding it all
I
show.
like that.
It's been on the back burner.
We might have time for one quick one. Let's try Bob out there real quick on line one. Bob from Livonia. Go ahead, sir. Be quick.
Hello, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
What's up?
Hey, well, I don't know how quick it could be. I'll try to make a long story short. I have a home. My ex-wife has a home. We're going to get back together again.
Oh,
and we
awesome,
want to figure out what we need to do to buy another home that we can have our kids together and all of us together in one place, as opposed to having two. And
Hey,
I
Bob.
just refinanced my home, Harp 2 in Livonia.
Bob, let me do this, man, bro. I'm sorry, we're out of time. They're wrapping me up. Let me call after the show, okay? There's definitely options. I'll get right back to you, man. Just hang tight, okay?
All right, again, can you qualify
Thanks,
for
buddy.
another house? We are up against time.
Yes,
we have
you
another
can.
show
Lee,
starting.
man, great to see you. Thanks
Hey,
for
it was a
coming
lot of
by.
fun,
Lee
guys. Thanks
Moroff,
for having me
everybody. He's
here.
a great guy.
All right, that's Lee Moroff from RE/MAX Showcase Homes in downtown Birmingham. If you want to find Lee, call us at Capital Mortgage at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. We're open all day. We've got Pat Caputo coming up with sports. For Alex Nafusi, Harry Glanz, I'm Harvey Freed. We'll see you next Saturday.
Hi, Harry Glanz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, and they're not going down to zero. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. If you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Capital Mortgage Funding is a proud division of United Shore Financial Services, NMLS number 3038, Equal Housing Lender. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE.
You've been hearing the Metro Detroit real estate market is hot, and right now is the absolute best time to list your home for sale. This is Realtor Jeff Glover. When the market heats up, it's important that you stand out from the rest of the crowd, and that's why we spend more money on marketing in a single month than most agents spend all year, and that gets results. But don't just take it from me.
I'm Chuck Howard, and my wife and I worked with Jeff to sell a home in Royal Oak and buy one in Rochester Hills. Jeff got our home sold in 2 weeks. He had it priced right. He marketed the home aggressively to make sure it was seen. Jeff is very professional and real easy to work with. He and his whole team are exceptional.
Jeff Glover has been featured on CNBC Powerhouse, listed as a top 100 agent by the Wall Street Journal, named a real estate all-star by Our Magazine, and a power seller by Crane's Detroit Business. Jeff Glover will get your house sold. Call Jeff Glover today at 855-JEFF-SELLS or online at jeffgloversells.com. That's jeffgloversells.com. With Realtor Jeff Glover, your home is here today and gone tomorrow.
Hurry to Southgate Ford for tremendous savings during their 2013 model year-end sales event. Take advantage of great zero-down sign-and-drive lease deals. Leave your money in the bank and lease the Ford car or truck of your choice. No money down, not even first month's payment.